Having arrived, we're going to get this meeting started. I want to welcome everybody to the first meeting of the Senate Ag Committee for 2021. I'm Larry Walker. I'm new chairman of the committee, and a little nervous here, but the majority leader is with us today to make sure I behave, so I appreciate him being here. Thank you, Mr. Leader. We're going to have a just kind of informal meeting today. Most of my meetings will probably be sort of informal, but I want to basically we're going to have introductions today of the committee members, some special guests, and then we've got the committee rules that we need to adopt. And I hope the committee members had those emailed to them ahead of time, but if not, they are in your folder. But as we normally do before we get started, I'd like to open the meeting with a word of prayer, and I've asked Senator Summers to lead us in prayer, please.
Please pray with me. Our most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, we humbly come before you today, trying to do the business that you would have us do. We ask that you lead, guide, protect us, and always show us the way. Be with us, show us mercy, and thank you so much for the blessings you always bestow upon us. And these things we ask in our name, Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Senator Summers. All right, so we have some returning committee members, and we have some new, we have some freshman senators and new members on the committee. So I thought it would be good just to allow the committee members to introduce themselves, tell us where your district is, a little bit about your district, what kind of ag activity you have in your district if you want to, just a real brief introduction. So I'll start, and then we'll start over here with Senator Ramon, and then we'll just go around. So I'm, again, Larry Walker. I'm from Middle Georgia, Senate District 20. The counties that I represent are Lawrence, Bleckley, Pulaski, and Houston counties, and we have all kind of production agriculture going on in my county, from livestock, cattle, chickens, hogs. We have a lot of row cropping and peanuts and cotton primarily, soybeans. We've got a lot of pecans. We have some peaches. So ag is a big part of my district. We're also the home of the Georgia National Fairgrounds and Agri Center, which I'm real proud of that. That is a real great showplace for Georgia agriculture. And they've had a tough year, along with everybody really, with COVID. But we are looking forward to getting that back open and going and having a great fair this fall. But that's a little bit about me. So what?
My name is Sheikh Rahman. I represent Senate District 5, which is part of Lawrenceville, Lilburn, part of Duluth, part of Norcross, part of Tucker, part of Christie Corner, right over the I-85. If you ever get stuck in traffic, you're probably in my district. My background, I'm an immigrant. I was born and brought up in Bangladesh. My dad was a government servant, but his dad, my grandfather, was a farmer. So perfectly fit, grandson of a Bangladeshi farmer representing a Georgia farmers, So glad to be back this committee, and that's all I have to say, I guess. And thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you, Senator.
Good afternoon.
State Senator Freddie Powell-Stan from District 12 in Southwest Georgia, and I have 11 counties.
Oh, wow.
I'm Senator Kim Jackson, representing parts of Gwinnett and DeKalb counties. I live on a small urban farm where we have some livestock and some row crops, and a part of a growing group of urban farmers in the metro area. So that's a part of my interest, is to represent urban farmers and small farmers. And then, of course, in the metro area, we have the great benefit of being able to eat and consume Georgia crops that are grown all around the state. So glad to be here.
Thank you. Glad to have you. This is Ryan Miller, my administrative assistant. She's doing a great job for me, and if you all need help, you can give her a call, and she can get you on my calendar or get you on the agenda or do whatever you need there. Our vice chairman,
Move down to this. I realize I'm in this wrong seat. I'm Lee Anderson. I represent District 24. It goes from Augusta all the way to Hartwell. It involves 8 counties. We mainly beef cattle, horses. Also, we have a unique situation in Columbia County. We have one of the largest cricket farms in the southeast. And we just glad to be here, and want to hear from y'all all your good needs you need. All right.
thank you, Vice Chairman. I appreciate it. And I know you can't do everything, but you're doing good.
Try and do something.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm Senator Cardin Summers. I'm really proud to be here. I was on that committee last year. Great committee to be on here. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for having us. And I touch Senator Walker. I'm Senate District 13. We have 9 counties. It's about 400 miles around my district. If you drive the district, it's a huge area. But we have everything he mentioned and then more. We have catfish farms, you name it. We have some wild people. We got a little bit of everything in South Georgia. They do wild hog hunting, deer hunting. I mean, hunting is a big thing in South Georgia, and one of the biggest plantations east of the Mississippi is in my district in Worth County. It's called Southern Woods down there. If you guys never participated in quail and that type of thing, it's pretty good. It's pretty awesome down there. But glad to be here. Help you any way I possibly can, and thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Bo Hatchett. I'm from Senate District 50. Freshman senator. It's an honor to be on this committee. I represent 8 counties: Towns, Rabun, Habersham, Stevens, Banks, Franklin, Jackson, and Hall. We have a big agriculture community up there. It goes from produce to cattle, but our biggest is the poultry industry, and it's an honor to be on this committee. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon. Good to be with everybody. Tyler Harper. I represent the 7th Senate District. I arguably say all the time it's probably the most agriculturally diverse district in the state. I think if it's grown in Georgia, it's grown in the 7th. We are known for our blueberries, and I know the good senator from the 8th isn't with us today, who will talk about blueberries quite a bit. But we have the largest muscadine grape operation in the state of Georgia is in the 7th Senate District. And so a lot of agriculture, along with my good friend Lee Anderson, and I know Russ, who will be here. I think we're the only 3 now who are practicing agriculturalists in the Senate, since we've had a couple of retirements. So I have a small row crop peanut, cotton, corn operation, and a small cow-calf operation, among quite a few other things. So obviously agriculture and ag policy is very important to me and the district that I serve, so glad to be here. Good deal.
Y'all grow palmetto berries too.
And we
I
grow
understand.
palmettos and palmetto berries. We do.
Thank
We
you.
do.
Thank you.
You want to let us know what those are for, Mr. Chairman?
I'll let you expound on that later. Thank you, Mr.
Let us
Chairman.
know how they work out for you.
All right. So we got a late comer here, Chairman Burns.
Let me reorganize the furniture here on the deck.
We're introducing ourselves and telling a little something about our district.
I'm Max Burns of the 23rd Senate District. I've lived in the rural area all my life. I live on our family farm. We used to do a lot of stuff. We don't do anything anymore but beef cattle and some timber and a little bit of hay. But ag's in my blood, and I look forward to being on the committee. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman. So I think everybody would agree we got a great committee here, and I appreciate you all, your interest in agriculture and consumer affairs and interest in promoting growth in agriculture and growing jobs here. I also want to mention, I think it's important that we realize the vast diversity of agriculture and what all agribusiness encompasses. All of you know it's the largest industry in Georgia, about 76 billion in economic impact. 1 out of 7 Georgia jobs relate to agriculture, and it's things as diverse as the big Purdue chicken plant that I have, chicken processing plant I have in Houston County, that has, by the way, done a fantastic job of staying open and staying safe and feeding the Southeast during the pandemic. They put in some really, really good measures to keep their employees safe. And then the world's largest salty snack food manufacturer in the whole wide world is in Houston County, and that's our Frito-Lay plant. And if you ever come to Houston County and have a chance to tour it, it is a remarkable facility, multi-million square foot facility with robotics and the highest tech manufacturing, food processing operation you could ever see. It's just amazing. So, from Kubota tractors to Purdue chicken to Frito-Lay to cotton and peanuts and the turf farms, we have a very, very vibrant ag industry in Georgia, and I'm looking forward to just supporting it, growing it, making it even more successful and bigger. And to that end, I'm going to now call on our Commissioner of Agriculture, Gary Black, to speak to us about, and we're honored that he's here, speak to us about whatever he has on his mind. And then we've got another special guest we'll introduce, and then we'll get to the rules, committee rules. Yes, sir, Commissioner.
Right here, okay?
Yes, sir. Where do you want him to? Which number is
I've been
that?
on my knees before this committee before.
Commissioner. Hey, Commissioner. Okay, well, we got a mic right there, too, but sorry. I hope we got a good picture of that.
I'll take it.
Welcome, sir.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, welcome. Good to see everybody back. It's good to be with family. There's some new folks listed. It's good to see friends around this table. And Senator Jackson, my newest friend, we had a good conversation this week and look forward to working with you. But there are Lee Anderson and I don't want to get started about how long we know one another. So he used to be a young farmer, and my hair used to be brown. So, but all of you welcome, and I'm mighty proud of our new senator up our way, and I think Bo's going to do a great job, and I look forward to working with you, friend, and some others. We do. It's going to be good. Mr. Chair, I thought we'd hit a couple of things real quick, COVID related, that are maybe a couple of things that you don't know that we do, but there's a lot of news out there. Some of us would like for it to be better. We all would. We want to get over this. We're all in it together, and we're all going to prosper. There's some good things that we've done over the course of the year. When we pivoted earlier in the year and set out to make a pivot for Georgia Grown to Go was born out of a desire to get out and serve people. But we had folks that, down to Senator Harper's way, we needed a market for products, and 50% of our market was gone because schools were closed and restaurants were closed, and what we were going to do. Georgia Grown to Go made a big impact in and around Atlanta. When we had 7,000 cars that first morning in Cobb County, it was an amazing thing. Now, how much did we wind up doing out of that with Representative Carpenter's activities, which was phenomenal. It was a little different twist, but we were involved when we had our 2 special events at Coolray Field in Gwinnett. That was special. worked alongside CEO Mike Thurman on a different twist to Georgia Grown to Go that's still ongoing. We had 6 different activities with Mike, and that was a terrific partnership. But these kind of things over with Hardy Davis in Augusta, Mayor Davis and others. What did we wind up doing? We probably had about $1,250,000 worth of business, which was good. But what it did is it really vaulted the brand, which is already pretty strong. It vaulted into the public arena in a way that is really caught on. And so we've gotten a little wind under our wings with those types of things during this challenge. And I think that's something we can all celebrate. We do some things on the regulatory side too, though, that I wanted to brief you on real quickly. We have right now, I believe, from a standpoint of regulations on inputs of agricultural products, y'all know we look after seed, feed, fertilizer, pesticides. What we don't think about, though, in the area of public health is that antimicrobials and disinfectants are in fact pesticides, because they are regulated by EPA under the same guidelines because they kill a pest. It just happens to be a virus or bacteria. There's a policy wonk name that's out there that's called Section 18. And Section 18 is emergency use for pesticides. And normally we might get into that for something. Senator Summers, when we need a peanut fungicide because something's not working, we have an emergency. You know, that's our world, and that's what we deal with. Section 18 is what you request. But in this public health world, there's really only been a few, I think one that I'm aware of, there was a Section 18 granted to fight around 9/11 anthrax. And but we've been deep in COVID world with we have about 7 Section 18s in the pipeline, where we are actually taking those from Georgia-based companies that have a product that, if we're successful, we're the first line of submission. We submit to the federal government, and we have about 7 in the pipeline right now. We have a couple that are approved. Matter of fact, we're on the tip of the spear of one of those, where we were joined by Virginia and Tennessee and secured Section 18 approval on one of those industrial disinfectants and antimicrobials that should be in production very quickly. Why is that important? There's a company down south of here that has a lot of airplanes that get in the air. That's pretty important to them. We have a very interesting Georgia company down around West Point that has an approved disinfectant, an approved antimicrobial. They've combined those and they've unified them with an industrial coating that has an incredible efficacy. I mean, a long time. We're not talking about just spraying in here for today. We're talking about spraying the top of this table for a long time and not having to come back. Now, it's got a few more hurdles. It's in the pipeline. I don't know exactly where in the pipeline it is, but those are a few things that our input folks, our technicians and scientists are working on, and policy people even as we speak. So we're busy every day during this time from the market and from the regulatory side. And hopefully we can find some solutions to help us all get better. One policy issue, Mr. Chairman, that we know is coming, and I hold in my hand right here 95 pages of the Federal Register that's been was put out 2 days ago. That is the new Federal Register notice on industrial hemp. Not medical marijuana, but just industrial hemp. Federal Register notice is 95 pages. The new rule is 305 pages. We're in the dead middle of that. Our council, the General Counsel, has reviewed it. We have some bullets for you that we're going to encourage. I know there's many around the tables who've had interest in this, but if some may have said in the past on this that we've been a little more laissez-faire, we may have been, because we've offered input. We've had lots of different interest groups and different members, but we're going to be a little more. We're going to have to be a little more involved this time, and because if we don't, our law is not going to fit we're going to have to do some work on our law so that it's compliant with federal rule. And so just know that I know Bo, would you allow me, because we all friends, Mr. Chairman, and can I tell you how grateful I am Bo Warren's back, and I wish this committee would welcome him back.
Yes, we are so glad.
Bo's our director of policy, and he is the Lord's blessed him, and he's a fighter now, and but he's well, and we're so grateful for him, and so grateful that he's back. But Bo, and then of course y'all know Bryce Trotter in our offices. They're here daily. We're just right across the street, or I think most everybody in here has got my number. So if you need me, we're accessible. But love to work on this and some other issues as we move forward. But we're just grateful to be here, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Commissioner, thank you, and thank you for all you do for Georgia. You're doing a great job, and it is a real praise to have Bo back, and we are really thankful for that. And Bryce, appreciate the great job you're doing. We'll look to hear more from you on the
Yes, sir.
industrial hemp issue
Yes, sir.
when the time is right. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
All right, our next special guest, and it's a real privilege today to be able to welcome the new dean of the University of Georgia College of Agriculture and Environmental Science, Dr. Nick Place. Come forward, Dr. Place, and I had our dean, you can sit where the commissioner was, I guess. Okay. I had the pleasure of meeting with him briefly earlier, and I know you all are going to be as impressed with him as I am, and as excited about his hands-on ag background as I am. So please tell us about yourself and the UGA College of Ag and Environmental Sciences, and what you see for the future there.
All right, very good. Chairman Walker, thank you very much. Senators, very nice to meet you, and a real privilege to be here. And Commissioner, I'm really glad you came up here first to get the chair here, just saying. But it does bring me a lot of pleasure to be here. Chairman asked if I talk a little bit about myself and kind of some of the vision that we have for our College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. So I grew up on a small farm in northeast Pennsylvania, dairy farm, milking cows morning and night, before and after school. So certainly understand. Well, I tried to milk them, Senator, but that's true. It depends on the cows. And also grew up in 4-H. As a 4-H member, my parents are 4-H leaders. My wife and kids are all in 4-H. So I tell you that so that you understand how grounded I am in agriculture and natural resources and what we're blessed with in that field. I had a chance to start at Penn State University in the mid-'80s as a dairy educator across 4 counties there. Did that for a number of years. Then had an opportunity to go to the University of Florida, that place to the south, and as hard as that is, right? And worked there for a number of years, teaching young students who are interested in getting involved in the land grant system and extension. And then went from there to the University of Maryland and ran the extension program. And then most recently back to the University of Florida, running extension there for the University of Florida for the last 8.5 years. Came here, saw the light, and started here the 1st of January. It's a real blessing to be here. And I'll tell you why. It's because of great folks like yourself that really understand and support the tremendous industry that we have in agriculture, the #1 industry in our state. And just with all of the folks that have reached out to myself and actually my wife and welcomed us here and are so enthusiastic about what agriculture is and what it needs to be and can be for the future. And there's partners such as Commissioner Black and others that are really there working together to make sure that agriculture is what it needs to be. I oversee in our college probably one of the largest parts of the University of Georgia as you think about not only what we have in Athens with our research and teaching and extension program, but we have a presence in every one of the 159 counties through our county extension program, plus also our research education centers that we have located around the state to do cutting-edge research and education that's really honed in on what is needed for that particular area. Some of the things that are really important to me are technology and innovation, entrepreneurship, which is so important to our ag industry. And one of the efforts that we are pushing pretty hard at the University of Georgia is precision agriculture. And it's going to take high-end technology to keep our farmers in business, keep agriculture as our #1 industry, and look at ways that we can really deal with issues such as water quality and quantity and pests and diseases, labor issues, and so many other things that are facing our ag producers today. And technology is one way of doing that. And we have a lot of expertise at the university. We're looking to build upon that, as well as looking at ways that we can connect with Georgia Tech, Fort Valley State, and other agencies, organizations to have a strong and proactive effort related to precision agriculture and technology. In the budget this year put forward by the governor, there's a couple of key things that are there, and one is for our poultry science building that you'll be seeing and addressing, as well as with a greenhouse facility that are so important to our college. With the poultry science building, we see that as critically important to the #1 industry, with poultry, that is for the #1 industry, agriculture in our state. And we want to ensure that Georgia is seen as epicenter of poultry, and we have to have a strong research and teaching and extension outreach program to support that. And having a cutting-edge building that with the labs, facilities, and whatnot that we need is going to be critical to that. And so I want to thank you in advance for putting that on the table and for your consideration of that. And similar with the greenhouse facility, having a cutting-edge greenhouse facilities where we can do breeding and genetics and other things that are in support of the industry is going to be important as well. So there are just a couple of things that I would put before you, but I am very pleased to be here, part of this committee, and if there's ever anything that I could do to answer questions or help you or whatever, please let me know. The chairman has my contact information, but would be happy to follow up. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to take.
Thank you, Dean. Are there any questions for the Dean?
I don't necessarily have a question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
But I just want to welcome you to Georgia. Glad to have you. Whatever Florida taught you, maybe we can get that out of your system a little bit. But I hadn't figured out what it is about the University of Florida, but we trained up one really good a couple of years ago, and now he's at UF, and apparently we've swapped.
That's right.
And now we got you from UF, but no, it's as an alumni of the College of Ag and the University of Georgia, it's good to see it in good hands. So welcome aboard. Look forward to working with you. We do have a very extensive network throughout the state with our ag school at UGA, and it's world renowned. I know you know that, otherwise you wouldn't have applied to get the job. But welcome aboard. Glad to have you. Look forward to working with you to further the industry and to further my what holds a little piece of my heart in Athens, and that is the ag school. So look forward to our work together and doing that. And you're following in some good footsteps behind Scott and Sam, and we know that you're going to continue to take the ag school in the right direction and just even further than what it is. So, but for those of you who the dean did a really good job. Our ag school is really important to this state, and if you hadn't had a chance to tour some of those research institutions that we have for some of the newer committee members, I'd encourage you to do that, because what we do in those research operations help those of us that do those things in the field on a day-to-day basis. So, but thank you. Look forward to working with you.
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
That means a lot.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman Burns.
No comment, thank you.
Okay, your light was blinking.
Somebody turned it on, who did?
All right. Thank you, Dean.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay. All right, number 10.
Thank you very much. I too would like to welcome you to Georgia. And also very happy to hear you acknowledge partnership with Fort Valley State University. That's my alma mater. And married an ag person many, many years ago. And we did some farming down in Terrell County, Georgia. I didn't say terrible county, I said Terrell County. I didn't say moonshining either. Well, a little bit of that may go on too, right? Look, that was the punch we had on Friday night. You know, my husband was in the lab a lot, but thank you, thank you so very much for coming, and we appreciate you, and we appreciate having you. Thank you.
All right, anybody else? Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you for being here, sir. I want to publicly thank Commissioner Black also. During COVID and last year in South Georgia, a lot of our farmers markets and area were affected big time, budget cuts, et cetera, et cetera. And Commissioner Black and his team have worked and helped us every way we possibly can ask for in South Georgia. And I appreciate your continued help on that, Commissioner Black. We'll let you know that. Thank you.
All right, any other comments? Okay, so let's move on to the rules. You should have a copy in your folder of the committee rules. So we have 9 committee members and 2 ex officio committee members for a total of 11. And these rules propose a quorum of 5 members. Really, if you were on the committee last year, these are the same rules that we adopted last year for all intents and purposes. If you've had maybe you've already had a chance to look at them, I'll give you a minute or two to scan them real quick and Mr. Vice Chairman, yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I'm ready to make a motion anytime.
All right, that time was now.
I'll make a motion, we adopt the rules.
All right, I have a motion and a second to adopt the rules. Are there any discussions? All right. Well, for all of those in favor of adopting the rules, please raise your hand. All right, any opposed, same sign. All right, the rules are adopted unanimously. Okay, is there anybody else that has anything for the good of the order here today? Anybody in the audience want an opportunity to say anything to us? We appreciate you all coming today. All right. I don't see anything else, so we'll stand adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.